In 2026, something happened in the world of technology that most people didn't notice at first. There were no dramatic press conferences, no emergency announcements from Redmond, no flashy billboards declaring victory. And yet, beneath the surface, a shift was taking place so powerful, so disruptive, that it quietly shook the foundations of the modern computing world. Linux just did what Microsoft feared most. Not with a bang, not with a viral marketing campaign, but with a silent, steady revolution that had been building for years. And by the time many realized what was happening, it was already too late to ignore. For decades, Microsoft Windows dominated the desktop. It became the default operating system for homes, offices, schools, and governments. People grew up with it. They trusted it. They relied on it. And Linux, despite being powerful and flexible, was often dismissed as the system for programmers, hobbyists, and server admins. It was the underdog, the alternative, if you know, operating system. But while Windows focused on expanding ecosystems, subscriptions, cloud integrations, telemetry, and AI-powered everything, Linux quietly focused on something else: control, performance, freedom, and user respect. The real turning point in 2026 wasn't a single feature. It wasn't a single distribution. It wasn't even a single headline. It was the culmination of several forces converging at once. Hardware manufacturers began officially supporting Linux at a level that previously seemed impossible. Major laptop brands started shipping devices with Linux pre-installed, not as a niche option buried deep in the configuration page, but as a first-class choice. And for the first time, everyday users could walk into a store, open a sleek Ultrabook, and experience Linux without ever touching a terminal. But the silent revolution wasn't just about availability. It was about maturity. The Linux desktop in 2026 felt different. Polished, cohesive, fast. Distributions that once required tweaking and troubleshooting now booted in seconds, handled drivers automatically, and offered app stores filled with verified, sandboxed applications. Wayland matured to the point where graphical glitches became rare. Gaming performance rivaled and in some cases surpassed Windows thanks to improved compatibility layers and native support. Even anti-cheat systems, once the biggest barrier for gamers, became fully functional on Linux across most major titles. And then there was privacy. Over the years, Windows became increasingly intertwined with cloud accounts, background services, data collection, and AI integration. For some users, that felt convenient. For others, it felt invasive. In contrast, Linux distributions in 2026 made privacy not just a feature, but a core philosophy. No forced accounts, no hidden telemetry, no ads in the start menu, no subscription reminders. Users realized they could have a modern, beautiful, high-performance system without surrendering control of their data. Businesses started to notice. Small startups were the first to switch in large numbers. They saw cost savings not just in licensing, but in hardware longevity. Linux breathed new life into older machines. Companies extended device life cycles by years. IT departments found that centralized management tools for Linux desktops had evolved dramatically. Deployment became streamlined, updates became predictable, and security incidents tied to common malware families decreased significantly simply because the attack surface was different. Educational institutions followed. Schools and universities, already using Linux heavily on servers, began deploying Linux desktops in labs and classrooms at scale. Students who once grew up thinking Windows was the only real operating system were now writing essays, editing videos, coding applications, and even gaming on Linux without friction. A new generation was becoming comfortable with open source from the very beginning. Microsoft, of course, didn't ignore Linux. Over the years, it embraced it in certain areas. It contributed to the Linux kernel, supported it in the cloud, and built tools that ran on it. But what it feared most wasn't Linux on servers. It wasn't Linux in data centers. It was Linux becoming the default choice for the everyday user. The moment when someone buying their first laptop didn't automatically assume Windows was the standard. The moment when the question changed from "Can Linux replace Windows?" to "Why would I need Windows at all?" The shift accelerated when creative professionals began to migrate. Video editing suites, music production tools, and design software matured rapidly on Linux. Some were open-source alternatives that became powerful enough to compete with industry giants. Others were official ports from major companies that finally recognized the growing user base. Performance benchmarks showed Linux handling high-resolution video rendering with impressive efficiency. Audio latency improvements made it viable for serious production. Graphic designers found color management systems that met professional standards. Then came the AI wave. In the early 2020s, AI tools became tightly integrated into operating systems. Windows leaned heavily into AI assistants embedded across the interface. But Linux took a different approach. Instead of locking AI into proprietary ecosystems, it embraced modularity. Users could choose their AI tools, host them locally, integrate them into workflows without mandatory cloud dependencies. Developers created open AI frameworks optimized for Linux that ran efficiently even on mid-range hardware. For privacy-conscious users, this was revolutionary. They could harness modern AI capabilities without constantly sending data to remote servers. The performance story in 2026 also played a crucial role. As hardware plateaued in dramatic year-over-year improvements, operating system efficiency mattered more than ever. Linux distributions became remarkably lightweight without sacrificing visual appeal. Boot times shrank. RAM usage dropped. Background processes were minimal. On identical hardware, users consistently reported smoother multitasking and better battery life compared to Windows. Laptops ran cooler. Fans spun less. And for mobile professionals, that translated directly into productivity. Developers became one of the strongest pillars of this silent revolution. For years, many developers used Mac OS or Linux for programming while maintaining Windows machines for compatibility testing. By 2026, the need for that separation diminished. Cross-platform development tools thrived on Linux. Containerization, virtualization, and compatibility layers matured to the point where testing Windows-targeted applications from a Linux host became straightforward. Instead of dual booting or maintaining multiple devices, developers consolidated their workflows around Linux. Another unexpected factor was stability. While no operating system is perfect, Linux distributions in 2026 offered update models that balanced innovation with reliability. Rolling releases provided cutting-edge features for enthusiasts, while long-term support versions delivered predictable stability for businesses and cautious users. System updates rarely forced reboots at inconvenient times. There were no sudden UI redesigns pushed overnight. The user remained in control of when and how changes happened. Security became a defining narrative as well. High-profile ransomware attacks and supply chain vulnerabilities made headlines throughout the early 2020s. While Linux was not immune to security issues, its architecture, permission model, and community-driven transparency reduced widespread desktop-targeted malware. Users felt safer. Organizations valued the ability to audit code, customize security policies, and reduce dependency on closed systems. The silent OS revolution was also cultural. For decades, switching to Linux was framed as a rebellion or a technical challenge. In 2026, it became practical. It became normal. Influencers and tech reviewers began showcasing Linux laptops not as experiments, but as daily drivers. YouTube channels demonstrated gaming setups on Linux without disclaimers. Productivity tutorials featured Linux desktops seamlessly alongside other platforms. The stigma faded. Hardware compatibility, once a nightmare for newcomers, transformed dramatically. Graphics drivers stabilized. Wi-Fi chips worked out of the box. Printers were detected instantly. Even specialized peripherals like drawing tablets and audio interfaces received official or community-supported drivers. The installation process became so streamlined that users could complete it in under 10 minutes without technical expertise. And perhaps the most significant psychological shift was this. Linux stopped asking users to adapt to it. Instead, it adapted to them. Desktop environments offered familiar layouts for former Windows users, Mac OS-alike experiences for those migrating from Apple, and entirely new paradigms for those who wanted innovation. Customization was no longer about editing configuration files. It was about intuitive settings panels, drag-and-drop extensions, and curated themes. Microsoft's greatest fear was never that Linux would dominate servers. That battle had long been acknowledged. Its greatest fear was irrelevance in the consumer space. And in 2026, while Windows still held a large market share, the narrative changed. Growth slowed. Surveys showed a steady increase in Linux desktop adoption year over year. Governments in multiple regions announced pilot programs to migrate public sector systems to Linux-based platforms, citing sovereignty and cost control. Large enterprises experimented with hybrid environments where Linux desktops became standard for certain departments. What made this revolution truly powerful was its quiet nature. There was no single moment to attack, no single competitor to undermine. Linux was not a company, it was an ecosystem. An ever-evolving collaboration of developers, organizations, volunteers, and corporations. There was no CEO to challenge to a debate. No stock price to target. It was decentralized, resilient, and persistent. By late 2026, tech analysts began using phrases like desktop diversification and post-monopoly era. Consumers realized they had genuine choice, and choice changes everything. When users are no longer locked in by file formats, software availability, or hardware support, they begin to evaluate operating systems based on merit rather than habit. The silent OS revolution wasn't about Linux defeating Microsoft overnight. It was about redefining expectations. It was about proving that an open-source system could be polished, powerful, secure, and accessible. It was about demonstrating that users valued control and transparency as much as convenience. And it was about showing that innovation does not require centralized authority. In 2026, Linux did what Microsoft feared most because it crossed the final barrier: mainstream legitimacy. Not as a curiosity, not as a backup system, but as a primary, confident, fully capable operating system for millions of everyday users. The revolution wasn't loud, it didn't trend for weeks. But it changed conversations in boardrooms, classrooms, and living rooms around the world. And perhaps the most remarkable part is that it's still unfolding. The silent revolution continues, one installation at a time, one satisfied user at a time, one organization at a time. It's not driven by marketing budgets or billion-dollar ad campaigns. It's driven by experience. By people who try it and realize they don't want to go back. That's what made it so powerful. And that's why, in 2026, Linux didn't just evolve. It transformed the landscape quietly, confidently, and permanently.